Alright, so like I said yesterday, we are going to take another look at the Beast Wars Rampage figure. The last time I reviewed this, it was with Tommy, and not only did I get enough requests to re-review all the videos that I did with Tommy, but also after reviewing this guy yesterday, I really wanted to remind myself of how cool the original version of this thing is. And this thing is amazing. I love this crab mode. It is so good. And this is where, I am biased towards this character. I'm going to try and keep that out of there, out of the final review portion of it, the best I can. But that's a disclaimer because this is my favorite Beast Wars and my favorite Transformer character. He's absolutely my favorite. But I mean, the chrome on this thing is just incredible. I mean, that is just, and you can see how it's got this big X over the back. I know the Japanese version had a much darker red version of that, which I kind of wish I had that one. And maybe one of these days I'll be able to pick it up if I can ever find it for a good price. But yeah, he's a really big crab. I mean, seriously, here is the crab, and here is Sunstorm. So Sunstorm is about half a head taller of the crab, from just the mouth of the crab to the butt of the crab. That's not including the pinchers. The pinchers, you can see, are almost the size of a deluxe. There you go. I'm hoping that's really expressing the size of this guy. He is a really big figure. He is a Beast Wars Ultra class, which, in case you guys, aren't familiar with the old size scaling, that would put him in near the new leader class figures that we're getting with the new movies. So anyway, let's talk about posability for this thing. In this mode, first off, coming in here, his mouth does open and close, and it does. I mean, I'm not sure if that's how a crab's mouth really works, but that's how it worked in the show, so it is pretty accurate, even though this is purple and I don't think it was purple in the show. Each antenna is on a ball joint, so they get a pretty good range of motion there. The face does split apart. That's part of the transformation, and it doesn't really lock in, and that's a little unfortunate, but it's one of those easily overlooked because of the size and all the chrome and this is chrome. This figure was originally released in 97, I think. I want to say. I don't know. But I mean, for being as old as it is, even though I am a collector, I know a lot of chrome still wears for collectors. But even being a collector, it's still really nice and good in shape. So, let's talk about more posability here. So this arm here, and both arms are the same, so I'll only go through one. So it's on a ratchet, kind of a heavy ratchet there. Just ratchets around. It can't go straight across. It either has to be like here or here. It doesn't. Well, it kind of fits there, but it doesn't. It doesn't really like to fit or stay right there. But that's not bad because, in crab mode, he wouldn't be having his arms straight across. They'd either be kind of like this or like this when he's ready to attack. So anyway, so that's the first swivel there. Then this whole assembly right here rotates up and down on another ratchet. Then it rotates again right here on another ratchet. And it does go all the way back as well, so you get good range of motion there. Then right here it has a swivel, and then right there at the purple little bit, there's another swivel. This one is not a ratchet. Then right here, this whole claw is on a swivel. I mean, talk about a posable figure here. I mean, I'm still just doing the one arm. So this pincher here, and then due to transformation, this pincher can swivel independently of the claw, if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but so the whole pincher can move in and out. And then he's got another hinge right here to make it open even more. So depending on how you want to do it, you can do that. Then right here there is another ratchet that bends the claw like that. Again, that's more for transformation, but you could still kind of use it, I guess. And then right in here, the claw itself can move up and down. So I mean, you can get pretty wide pinchers going on there. Okay, so and both the claws are the same. So there's the claws. Now this leg here is on a ball joint, so you know, up, down, all around, no problems there. Then it's another ball joint at the knee, so I mean, you got a pretty good range of motion on this leg. The next leg is the same. Now this leg here, it's on a swivel down here, so, and it's on a ratchet that you can actually see working. You can see that just indent there, and then when you move it, it just kind of pulls out and then springs itself back into place. And that can go all the way around, although you're not going to be able to because of all the parts in the way. Then it also swivels here, and then it's on a ball joint on its own. So good range of motion for crab mode. So yeah, like I said, it's a pretty awesome figure. I really dig it. So that's really all there is to crab mode. Let's get him into his tank mode. This is one of those, because all the Transmetal Beast Wars were triple changers, and they would turn from animal to robot to some sort of cross. You know, like they throw in part of an alt mode into it. This one is a tank. So, to start, first thing I like to do is just pull this leg right here straight down, and then you just swivel this all the way around. This leg will come over and just sit like that, and there's a little peg right there that will fit into this little slot down there. This first little groove here, and you just kind of slot that together. It doesn't really hold very well, but it doesn't need to. And I'll show that why in a minute. And then you can just take this leg and just kind of pull it up, kind of keep it out of the way. So do the same thing on this side. So we just pull this down, rotate this around, pull this around, and then this will just slot together, and then we just fold this one back, just like so. Then what you want to do is you take this arm and you fold it down like so. This one goes up, and then it gets a little tricky. Inside the claws here, that's where you would store the missiles and his other gun. I don't have the missiles; they are in storage at the moment, but they just store in there like that. So we'll just take this out from this mode, and then you want to. This piece will come around here, like so, and you fold the crab claw back like this, and then clap it together, and swivel this down like so, and like that, and then there are this peg here and this peg here that will plug into this port here and this port here. So you just want to kind of line those up and get them to plug together, like so. And then this will come up like this, and you can take this and fold it down, and it's kind of like a blast shield. It also serves as kind of like a leg mode almost for the tank, so that you can kind of shoot further up. So we do the same thing on this side. So this comes down all the way, just like so. Turn this like this. This will come up here. Rotate this. Fold this. And plug that in like so. This comes up. And there you go. And there you have the tank mode mostly done. Next thing you want to do is inside the claw here, you pull out the little tank treads, like so. And this is the kind of rubber, and you can see it's actually starting to tear on me down here. And being as old as it is and being rubber, I'm surprised it's even still there, to be honest. So you fold this back and you just line it up on the treads here. And that's all there really is. That's the tread. Do the same thing over on this side. Just pull it out, put it back on, and there you have tanks. The treads all put on this tank mode. And then you take this cannon here and you fold it up, and that way there's his little triple barrel cannon, and there you go. And it's actually not that bad. A lot of the Beast Wars Transmetals alt modes like this were pretty horrendous. I mean, Cheetor just had little thigh boosters that pulled out, you know, stuff like that. Megatron had roller skates, and Primal had a surfboard. But this turns into a tank, and it resembles somewhat of a tank, like an all-terrain tank. And it looks like something that, although, you know, it's got crab elements to it, it does kind of look like something that humans would use at some point, if they don't already. I don't really know my tanks, so maybe I'm wrong. And then you can just take it and push on it, and it will roll. And these treads do work. This one's not wanting to... Oh, because I don't have the arm in there right. Hold on. Go. Alright, now I got it in there right, and it should. This one's having some difficulties for some reason, but it does roll. Like I said, this really doesn't have much life left into it. And then what's really cool is that the way the jaw here is designed, and the way the barrel works is, as this rotates, you can see this little piece right here come up, and that's where the spring-loaded missiles would be released, and it would fire. So as you roll him, because it's got this big rubber tire down here, as you roll him, it'd just be firing those missiles, and it spins while it rolls, and so as you're rolling it, it's firing missiles. Which is a really awesome feature, and if you look at my original review of this figure, you'll actually see me doing that, and it actually does work still. Like I said, my missiles are in storage, and I don't really want to go digging for them. Sorry, I know that's lazy of me, but as most of you know, I'm in the middle of moving, so and I really wanted to do this review now since I got the other Rampage. So, yeah. And then, like I said, you could take these things and just kind of prop them down like this. So, like, if he was getting ready to start blasting, he can get a little lift going. Or major lift, depending on how you want to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the crab mode, or the tank mode. So let's go ahead and get this guy into robot modes. The first thing you want to do is just pull this blaster out, and then this will just straighten out, and then you just fold the jaw down, and that's his big gun. And then the rotating thing still works, but it doesn't fire anymore, so you actually just have to come over here and press on them, and then it will just fire them. So. And then what you want to do is take the treads off, and then pull the crab legs, or the crab pinchers up, straighten these out, so up, straighten them out. Just kind of get those out of the way for the moment. Pull these crab legs straight down, and then you just take this whole assembly here and just unplug it, and it will just fold up onto the top like so. Do the same thing over here, and there you go. Then you can take the legs here, and they just fold straight down, and the waist piece will rotate. Straighten them out, and then flip out the feet. And just it's got the toes and then the heel. So, and then you take arm here and just kind of undo those, and then you take the head of the crab, and you just pull it down, and it just rotates around. And I'm trying to see if there's the date on this guy somewhere. Oh well, I'm sure I'll remember when he was made. I think it was 97. And then this will just fold up. That head likes to get stuck a little bit, so you kind of have to push it, give it a little help. Straighten that out. Take the head, rotate this around. There you have his head. Rotate the antenna up like this, and then take these treads and just kind of fold them back into the pinchers, and unfold these things so they can go back into a pincher-esque position, like so. Do the same thing over here, and you really can position these any way you want to. I'm just going to show off the way I like to show it off, or the way I like to have it. Let me pause the video for a second. So, like so. And then the way I like to do it is I just take these and fold it straight back, and just straight across the back like that. There, now we have it on his back. And they kind of work as back legs to kind of support him as well, because he is pretty top heavy. So just be mindful of that. And then I like to just take these legs and just kind of fold them up like so. The chest doesn't really lock into place all that well. But it's still pretty tight, so it still holds fairly decently. So I just kind of like to fold these legs up a little bit, and then I take these and I just rotate them in like so. Rotate this around. Just try to make them a little bit more streamlined. But there is the Beast Wars Rampage in robot mode, and he's huge. I mean, he is a really big guy. And I absolutely love that about him. I mean, he is a big, in the show, he was a big menacing character. So it's really nice. I mean, yeah, he should have been a little bit bigger to be more accurate, but he's still really big and he's pretty awesome looking. Also, when it comes to show accuracy, these legs should be up here, not on his forearms. But other than that, he's pretty damn close. So let's talk about posability real quick. Head is on a ball joint, but you really, more than anything, gets a little left and right action and a little bit back. But you want to be careful because you don't want to push it too far back, and it likes to go back if you start pushing on it. But otherwise, it's going to get stuck behind the shell, and it's kind of a bitch to get it out. The shoulder is on a swivel, so up, down, and in, out. It does get hindered quite a bit, but that's because of all the shell forming and such. Swivels at the bicep, bends at the elbow, and a really good bend there. So there's that. Nothing at the waist. Hips are on ball joints, so up, down, in, out. Gets a little swivel there. There is no swivel in the leg itself. Bends at the knee, great bend there. And then the foot does have, toe moves and the heel moves. More for transformation, but it is there. So, you take his cannon here and just plug it into his hand. And you can take his little gun and plug that into his hand. And I say little gun, but I mean it's a pretty substantial shotgun looking thing. Let's see. Here's Sunstorm here, and he can hold this because it is a 5mm port, and he can hold it, and it looks like a pretty good rifle for him. Mill race. Anyway. So yeah. So, for size comparison, here he is next to the Seeker mold, and you can see he comes up to just about the waist on Rampage. And even with his wings, Rampage is still almost twice as wide as the Seeker mold. So he's almost, let's see, so his head comes up to about here. He's about 1.5 times the height of the Seeker and about twice the width. So, I mean, he's a big guy. Here he is next to Hooligan, because I have him stand there, and, this is more an accurate scale between Rat Trap and Rampage. Which, I went into in the last video with the fact that Rat Trap's now deluxe and Rampage is now a deluxe. Speaking of, here he is next to the new Rampage. And you can see, I mean, this is an intimidating figure. This is not. This has a better head sculpt, by far. But he's still bigger and just badder. He comes up to mid-chest here. So he's almost 2 heads taller than this guy and easily 3 times as wide. Yeah, that's much more how it should be. And I kind of like this look, and this is probably how I'm going to display him. It's just like the before and after of the X project. And then for a couple other size comparisons, because I have them here. Here he is next to Optimus Prime. And he is, say, about half a head taller than Prime. So here he is next to Megatron. Excuse me. And he's, again, just about half a head taller than Megatron. Yes, ish. So, but he's easily the wider of the figures. You know, I mean, like I said, I really do believe this is about the same size as the new leader class figures, although those will be probably a little bit taller, because there's not going to be so much plastic on the back hanging off. And this is where Rampage should be. He should be something this big, if not maybe a little bit bigger. So overall on this figure, he's a little hindered due to the kibble. So posability is a little hindered. But he's also not one of those figures that I really imagine putting into dynamic poses. He's a figure, you know, every time you see him in the show, he's not really doing that much dynamic things. He's usually stalking up behind somebody getting ready to crush him. So he's a big, chunky figure, and I love that about him. The head sculpt's not the best in comparison to the new Rampage. But at the same time, for the time, it was a pretty impressive head sculpt. The chrome's still awesome. The transformation still works really well. The tires or the treads are starting to wear off. They're starting to warp and crack, but you know, after so many years, that's going to happen to anything that has rubber. So I can't really fault it on that. I mean, as far as like longevity goes, this thing is it's done its time. I think it's past the point of when those things should start breaking anyway. I mean, I would love it if they never broke, but you know, it happens. Anyway, so all in all, and the fact that the legs aren't on the top like they should be, like if you're going CGI model. All in all, though, I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. It's an enjoyable transformation, incredibly posable figure, especially when we're talking crab mode. Yes, he's a shell former, pretty much the epitome of shell former, but it works for him, and it works pretty well for him. And I like the size, I like the just intimidationness of him. I think it's a really good figure. I do recommend it to just about anybody. If you're thinking about getting the new Collectors Club Rampage, I'd say save your money and just buy one of them. Just buy the real thing. You know, if you want the real deal, get the real deal. Don't get this guy. You know, like I said, I do like having him here. And he's going to be on my display, and probably, like I said, he's probably going to be displayed like this. But ultimately, he's a far superior figure in just every aspect of the way. He's better designed. He transforms better. He's bigger. He's more intimidating. He's got a fun. The attack mode, that tank is fun because it just compresses down. It's just like this little block of metal that's just on wheels with cannons. It's just awesome. I love that. And the crab mode is pretty awesome because of the posability. Robot mode, like I said, it's huge. Like I said, 1.5 times the height of a Seeker and twice as wide as a Seeker. So, yeah. Like I said, I think the Ultra Class Onslaught from Universe 2.0 would have been a better choice for this guy. Just because he needs to be that big size. And like I said, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth all the time and effort to give us something that's basically subpar. So yeah, there you go. Transformers, Beast Wars, Rampage. Like I said, 9 out of 10. And that's me taking out my biased opinion. Putting it back in there, he's a 10 out of 10, and so is he, just because of the fact that his name is Rampage and he has an X on his chest. So, yeah, 9 out of 10, and I think I gave him a 3 out of 10. So, there you go.